Good morning, mate. How are you? Now, if you're here for morning football news, keep it moving. See you later. Me and Ronnie will be back doing XG files. Come back then. If you're not here for that, you just want to chat, stick around, because that's what today's all about. I ain't just doing news for the sake of doing news, and to be honest, there wasn't anything I thought was worthy of covering this morning. Steve Nichols has said some stuff about Kobbie Mainoo. You know, there's a bit more confirmation on what UEFA are trying to cook up with the new Champions League, but I didn't feel like talking about any of that today. So today is a little bit going back to kind of what the essence of these videos was sort of all about in the morning. How are you? Can we start the day with a bit of intention? It's dead misty this morning. Can we start the day off on the right foot? Why? Well, a couple of reasons. 2 free people in my life this week have kind of hit me up and said, not doing well in the old Napa at the moment. So I thought we can touch on that. We're getting towards Halloween. My little one loves Halloween. I came home yesterday. Janine's bought her this skeleton in a cauldron kind of thing with like a medicine bottle that pours into it, lights up green, puts smoke out. Mad excited, loves witches, just loves Halloween. He's having a party at my mum's this weekend for Halloween. But for my sort of community, the veteran community, never really dig Halloween. Partially because the week after Halloween, you got bonfire night. And bonfire night with the fireworks isn't good. For anyone who's been on the receiving end of you know, rockets and mortars and stuff like that, it's not a fun time. And then to sort of compound the not fun time that you have around Halloween and bonfire night, you have Remembrance Sunday. Kicks off right after it. So from now-ish to middle of November, kind of bombarded with memories, with images, with all sorts of stuff, and then you add that to the fact that the clocks go back, whatever they do, you get less daylight, which isn't good, which is why this is like a sacred part of my daily routine, is to make sure I get daylight. Daylight's massive, man. Getting it as early as you can in the day sets your circadian rhythm up, which is nice, helps you go to sleep later at night, but it's just good for you, isn't it? So I didn't realise I was doing this. It wasn't until I started with a little bit of therapy and Janine basically told me you do this every single year. Every November I would do some sort of like intense sort of physical challenge. Hay fever's all up in my face again. Cheers, lads. And I don't know if I can fully articulate why. Don't know if it's regret, guilt, remembrance of somehow trying to prove to myself I could still do whatever it was that I was doing when I was in a service. I don't know. Look at that mist. I don't even look any good on here. Looks dead good here. I don't know what it was. But I would do some like mad challenges, try and do like 20k, 50 pound tabs, and just fucking break myself because my feet weren't conditioned. and I'd go as fast as I could. I put myself in hospital a couple of times by doing it. And it was every November. And I never saw the pattern. And then Janine was like, check your Strava, scroll through. Oh shit, she's right. 6th of November, 7th of November, 8th of November. Apologies, that's what's straight on the mic then, wasn't it? Why have I got hay fever? It's fucking damp. Makes it dead easy to breathe, tell you that, fucking hell. Cover it up for you then. Oh, this is making this hard work. And I didn't know I was doing it. And it was only once I did my therapy and I sort of recognised a little bit of like, this is clearly something I'm doing. Clearly trying to cover up for something or make up for something. So, once you do that, you can spot the signs of it a little bit better. But I think it's just this time of year. And then obviously as you get towards Christmas, people get a little bit more in their heads, in their feelings. You think about family, think about loved ones, think about relationships. Because that's what Christmas is all about, isn't it? It's not about the presents. It's about family and relationships. And I think they come into sharp focus. And again, you know, depending where you work, you can leave for work in the dark and come home in the dark. And if you're in artificial light, you can't see a window, you don't go for a walk on your break, you can go months and months and months without really seeing any sort of daylight. And I just don't think it's healthy. So I just wanted to talk this morning, like, look after yourselves as you get into this time of year. Recognise it is a shit time of year if you live in Northern Europe. If you live in fucking San Diego, you can go fuck yourself because it's fucking probably 75 degrees and you can go in your swimming pool later. You lot can fucking sling it and all. But if you live in Northern Europe, Scandinavia, yeah, you're about to hit a real shit time of the year. And depression's going to skyrocket for loads of reasons. Financial pressures of Christmas, of living in countries which are determined to fucking bend you over, of, you know, the pressure to go and have a fucking good time around Christmas and New Year, which is nuts, isn't it? Pressure to have a good time, to go out. Which if those people that are battling with alcohol or drug addictions, that's more pressures that you maybe don't even need. The pressure to see family, some relationships are strained. So I just wanted to throw it out there, man. Some people have really opened up in the comment section on this video, and I love it. Not because I'm nosy, but I know that the act of writing stuff down helps sometimes organise and formalise your plans. So that's kind of why I say to do it. What are you doing today? Analog is best, but the technology to write it on pen and paper and it appear in the comment section here has not been created yet. Maybe it'll come. Maybe that's the future iterations of iPads. But there's something in it, I can't remember the phraseology or whatever it is, but the act of writing something down, because you have to kind of formalise what it is you're writing down, make sentences out of it, make it make sense before you write it down, that once you do write it down, you're halfway to fixing whatever the problem was. Now, I don't know if the maths in that stacks up, but I think the spirit of it does. Write it down and go to work on it. Like I said, man, my self-talk was always mad critical. It's partially a Mancunian thing. I always think we're too cool for school. Everything has to be downplayed. Don't put your head above the parapet. There's probably a little bit of Britishness in that as well. Don't get above your station. Keep your fucking head down. Working class maggot, shut the fuck up. And, you know, a little bit of the military just, it overcorrects wrong behaviour. You don't even get a well done if you do your job. Doing your job as expected. So, shut the fuck up. Wanting a fucking cookie, and just do your fucking job. You don't do your job, you get lit up. So it creates a culture of negative encouragement. So my self-talk for years, when I was overweight, was like, look at the fucking state of you fat cunt. What are you doing? And then that spirals into, like, you're a fucking loser. Do you even deserve to be alive? And that, you just start circling the fucking drain, man. And it does not help. And it took me a long fucking time. And that's why, you know, I'll always sort of appreciate what the guys at GBRS did. And, you know, some people have questioned about the Everyday Patriot hat. I wear this because of what it means to me, not because of what it means to you. And if you've not seen the podcast with my mate Jay that created this, he articulates what being an everyday patriot is to him, and it fucking literally perfectly aligns with what I think on this as well. It's not exclusionary. Being proud of one thing doesn't mean that you fucking hate something else. Wanting better for the place that you live doesn't mean that you fucking hate people who weren't born here. Like, it's such a brilliant fucking articulate, bang on the nose message. You know fucking Jay Motti, about as left-wing as fucking Ryan Giggs in his prime. When he watched that video and he saw Jay explaining about that, he went, fucking hell, never heard that explained like that before. But one of my worries when Jay did make this brand was it gets hijacked by the fucking right-wing flag-waving lot. It's not happened yet, so that's a positive. But the fact it was created by a Special Forces soldier and it's got the word Patriot on it, you can see the fucking dum-dums just putting one and one together and coming up with, you know, 25, whatever. Anyway, the reason that I like, you know, Jay helped me in a fucking massive way. Jay's quite American in a lot of his ways. I think that's because of the time he spent with the unit, with Delta Force, the bits that he did with DevGru, probably a lot of the cross training that he did when he was in the SAS, and probably why he fits in perfectly well at GBRS. I've said this loads of times. In fact, I'm wearing a GBRS t-shirt under this jacket. I don't think it has a slogan, this one. Or maybe, I think it's always on the offensive, I think. I fucking adore those little messages. And Jay's like a walking one of those. We spent a week together doing a shooting course in Wales. And it it was mad transformative for me because it was a couple of things happened. Jay introduced me to the optimised drink, which helped me get off the Red Bull because of the caffeine that was in it and the no sugar that was in it. That was mad transformative. But it changed my self-talk. While we were there doing that course, every morning at 6 a.m. he was in the gym. And just sitting around and eating with him and chilling with him. And hearing those sort of like, listen, it's okay to fuck up. Everybody fucks up. We've all fucked up. Some of us have fucked up fucking royal, where, to the point where you think you can't come back. But there's only way that you can't come back. And you know the way. And unfortunately, I've seen too many fucking friends go that way. Everything else you can recover from. You just got to fucking come back the next day. That's all you got to do. And it can sort itself out. You have to take action. It's not going to sort itself out by fucking hiding underneath the covers. You've got to take action. But everything is fixable. Every single thing is fixable. So stop panicking, stop flapping, take action, write it down, move towards the target. And I love the GBRS little slogans. Be a pro. I put it on the back of my phone for a reason. Be a fucking pro. Do I always listen to it? No, but I ain't fucking perfect. And I'm not preaching to you as a perfect guy. I'm trying to be your mate on the same fucking journey that you lot are on. I'm a fuck up that's just trying to fuck up a little bit less today and tomorrow. And the day after, and the day after that. Be a fucking pro. Try and make better decisions. Try and do things that helps my group. Who's my group? People that work for me, my football team, my family, everyone that relies on me. Just trying to be a little bit fucking better for them and for me. Always on the offensive, hard to kill. Those sort of, they feel empowering to me. And like I said, Jay's kind of like a walking one of those. You can see why he fit in well with GBRS so well. Steady pressure, 1% better every day. I surround myself with all of those messages, and I say them to you guys because they help me, not because I'm telling you this, not because I want to be above you and saying these things. I'm fucking right in the trenches with you, man. Trying to get better, 1% better every day. But they help me, and that's all I can do. I ain't a clinical psychologist. I'm not a fucking PT. I'm not a life coach. I'm just a dude that's fucked up loads, and I'm trying to fuck up less today. And I've been on the brink. Well, I was beyond the brink. I was bleeding out in my fucking kitchen because I'd had enough. I went beyond the brink, and it was only because I've got an absolute fucking rock star for a wife who found me, sorted me out. Otherwise, I wouldn't fucking be here right now. That's the truth. And my plan wasn't that I wasn't going to be here. I thought she'd gone out, and she came back. Otherwise, that'd have been me, done, nearly 3 years ago. Or more than 3 years ago. So I've been at the fucking lowest place you can possibly be. So I know what it's fucking like. But it was, from that fucking moment, things started to change. But you got to put one foot in front of the other. You got to meet it halfway. And again, you got to fucking, I obsessively plan. I don't know if that's a trauma response or what, but I do. But I'm not too bad at taking action either. Because I think a lot of people can get stuck in making sure the plan is perfect. I like to plan, but then I like to go and test the plan as well. Like my training program over the last 16, 17 months, it's evolved. I probably do a new one every month because I'm tweaking it. Not because I'm trying to sit there and refine it before I start. I write it down, I put it into play. Dead rabbit here. Do you see the dead rabbit? Probably not going to make your day any better, is it? But, yeah, nature don't fucking care, man. Yeah, I like to plan, I do. I obsessively plan. I plan loads. But I put it in play and I find out what's going right, what's going wrong, and then I figure it out. All right, I had the plan to do this. Don't really fit in with work. Blake's got that thing at this time. It's the same time every week. Blake goes swimming at the same time every Wednesday. I had to change my plans around that. But changing a plan that you've put into action is fine. Don't just sit there looking at the plan, trying to titivate it into the most perfect plan ever. Go and fucking test it out. I'm pretty good at doing that. But you've got to make action. And again, that's why the more I learn about what's going on upstairs, I love listening to Andrew Huberman, ophthalmologist from Stanford, smart fella, interesting fucking geezer and all. And what he doesn't know about how the mind works, how sleep works, how to optimize the sort of shit that you're doing, probably ain't worth knowing. But there's so many things that he says which are so simple to impart into your life. You've got likes of Goggins are like, just run 100 miles, you'll be fine. Obviously it's not something everyone can fucking do. But he comes at it from a point of, we all make too many excuses, and we fucking do. Too many of us looking for the easy path when we could just work around it, but we're being lazy. And it takes a lot to admit you're being lazy, if you are. But the things like, get sunlight in your eyes first thing, it resets your circadian rhythm. It helps with getting up early in the morning. Try not to, if you can, if it works for you, try to do the first bit of exercise you can fasted. Works for me. It took me a long fucking time to figure that out. In the army, you kind of get bullied into eating like a fucking fry-up every single morning, because what you're about to go and do is hard. So you need the calories in you. But actually, as you get older, you go, I don't. And I actually function pretty fucking good without it. There's a 20k hike that I like to do. And I like to do it weighted. It takes about 4 hours. It's meaty. And it's got 1,200 metres of elevation in it. And I fucked up once and did it fasted. And I was fine, and it was the fastest I ever did it. And I did it again, and I was like, yeah, what the fuck am I scramming porridge and fucking Snickers into my face for in the morning? I don't need it. But the army, they basically tell you you'll get charged for a self-inflicted injury if you fucking go down because you've not had even breakfast. Oh, that's what they said. I don't know if that was actually true. That was like the duty rumour that you used to get told. But, you know, delay my caffeine in the morning, 90 minutes until I've woke, because there's hormones that have to wash through your body, and cortisol's not a bad thing when it wakes you up. But you have to go through these waves of hormones in the morning because they set you up for the day. They stop crashes later in the afternoon. Just Google, go on YouTube. You're on YouTube, I guess. Have a look, Andrew Human sleep. And just listen to Andrew Human protocols. There's so many fucking great ones out there. But the important ones that Human talks about are the dopamine ones. And there's people that have managed to get cocaine habits shifted. So cocaine's like really, really cheap dopamine. So people who do cocaine, they're doing it for the dopamine. They're not doing it for the smell. Did you know that? I didn't know that. But the dopamine that you get from cocaine is supposedly like a mad spike and then a fucking immediate drop off. And I think the drop off goes lower than what the high of the high is. So it leaves you in a deficit, which is why you need more and more and more and more and more to sort of hit the same level. Which makes sense, doesn't it? You can then see how people spiral trying to chase that. But an ice bath, which I'm too much of a bitch to do. I did it did I do 30 days of it? It was fucking horrendous. Janine could just step into it, right? We had one in our garden. Janine could just step into it and be like staring at me like, what is the matter with you? I'd have to be fucking like pacing around the fucking garden like I was about to fight Mike Tyson before I could get in it. It's fucking horrendous. I'm such a bitch with a cold. But the dopamine that you get from an ice bath is like as high as cocaine gets, but instead of a quick taper, it's a real fucking slow taper that lasts for hours. People talk about the dopamine that you get from exercise. Personally, don't feel it. People are like, oh, I feel great after a run. I don't. I fucking smash myself. I'm fucked. And I've never had that like, oh yeah, I feel great after a run. I like the identity of myself when I work out. But I don't feel, at least I don't recognise it as any sort of level of dopamine. But there's a lot in that. In getting your daylight, starting your day with purpose. Write that shit down. That's dopamine. You write it down. You draw a line through it. Bing. Nice little bit of dopamine there for you. Have some of that, Steve. Cheers. And everything we do is momentum. That's why quitting stuff takes so long, because you've built up momentum over years and years and years. It's like trying to stop an oil tanker. You can't handbrake turn an oil tanker. It takes a long time because you've got momentum behind it. Once you do come to a hard stop, getting it going again, you can imagine how much power there is. Rocket ships, so much fucking momentum to bust out of gravity. Oil tankers, so much momentum to get going. But once you're going, you just got to keep the engine ticking over. And I feel like I'm in the ticking over part at the moment. I've got momentum behind me. You might be at the start. You might be on Cape Canaveral. Well, the geezers are counting you down. 10, 9, 8, 7. Fucking get strapped in, son. We're fucking having it. You might be at that stage where you need all fucking energy to move you in the right direction. But trust the process of once you are going in that direction, gravity takes over. You're sound. But you've got to fucking work to move in the right direction. Like I said the other day, my training program's mental at the moment. If you'd have given me that, if you'd have given Fat Steve that, Fat Steve would be like, yeah, what are we doing? No, that's just, I will die. But my training program started, I thought it was 30 minutes on a Stairmaster. It wasn't. It was 15 minutes on a Stairmaster. And the first day I went in, I could only do 13 minutes. There's a sheep here with some gnarly looking horns. Fucking check them out. Yeah. Bit far away here, aren't we? Oh, hang on. I was trying to zoom in. There we go, that's the zoom. Got the fucking horns on that, son. Get up, you boy. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, 13 minutes on a Stairmaster was all I managed. And I've just booked a fucking ultra marathon and an Ironman. And in August of last year, I couldn't finish 13 minutes on a Stairmaster. So that's the power of consistency and the power of momentum. And it was, rockstar wife. Just do 30 days, 15 minutes on a Stairmaster. Within a week, I was doing half an hour. By the end of 2 weeks, I'd flirted with trying to do an hour. That was hard. That was hard. Still is hard, to be honest. Stairmaster's a fucking gnarly piece of equipment. But then the weight started coming off, and I was like, Jesus Christ. One, this is working, so I tightened the diet up to accelerate it. Obviously, I'm already off the Red Bull, so I'm 1,000 calories a day down anyway, and it starts really coming off. And then I was like, shit, look how fucking skinny I look. Because obviously, when you're fat, you can fill that t-shirt out, you've got fucking big arms. Yeah, you've got big arms, you've got bingo wings, our kid. They're not really fucking, Arnold Schwarzenegger's not flapping. So I started adding some weights, a couple of days a week, got that to 3 days a week. And again, just titivating the program every few weeks to add more stuff. By November, I was thinking, still not run. I wouldn't mind trying to be able to do a high rock. So let me try and see if I can run like 1K. Because all you got to do in a high rocks is run 1K, right? Completely deluding myself into thinking that you could just do 1K and be able to survive a high rocks. Right or wrong, that's what I did, right? So I started just adding 1K run, and I managed a 1K run. Sound. 1K run, boshed off. But you do a 1K run, you kind of go, can I do a mile? And the mile went to 2K. And then 2K went to 3K. And because I'm a knob, I didn't go at 4K, which is the logical progression of this. 5K is like a bit of it's a run, that, isn't it? A 5K is a run. Let me try a 5K. And that hurt, man. My joints hurt, my bones was hurting, my quads were on fire. And it was only December that I started my first 5K. And by Christmas, I'd run a few of them. And on Christmas Day, I was chatting to my cousin's fiance, and he's into his sort of endurance sport. And I was like, I wonder if you could run 5K a day, what sort of shape you'd be in. And I was targeting, like July just gone, a couple of months ago. I was like, I wonder if I could get to the point where I could be able to do 5K a day. That was Christmas Day. January 2nd, I think I started running 5K a day. And I did about 4 or 5 weeks of it before I started pulling my calf again. Obviously, it was too much. But I booked in the 10K, Manchester 10K. And I sort of hobbled through getting to that. A couple of injuries in the build up to it, but I ran the 10K. I pulled my calf on it at Old Trafford. I had to stop for a couple of minutes, but I still ran it in 53, 52 minutes. And I was pretty buzzing with that. Going from not having run to doing a 10K, the Manchester 10K, in 6 months. I was pretty fucking happy with that. Well, that was nearly 6 months ago. And since then, I've done a half marathon, and I'm at the point where I can pretty much do 5K a day now. And, like I said the other day, I'm flirting with trying to do 10K a day. It's just adding little bits to what's happening, because I've got the momentum behind me. If I'd have started November and gone, I'm going to run 10K every day and see how it gets on. Like, no, you're not. I was picking up injuries anyway, and I still will pick up injuries. Because how do you know where the edge is if you don't fucking cross over it sometimes, you know what I mean? It's just my personality. I'm always going to do that. I'm always going to fucking try and push the boundaries. That's what I do. But yeah, just add a little bit to it. And again, write it down and stack the fucking wins up. Everything is momentum. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get going, and if you're fucking depressed, I really don't know how to. There's not a word anyone can say except just fucking show up tomorrow. It does get better. But there's nothing the depressed mind is an ill mind. It's hard to apply logic, because logic doesn't make. Wanting to fucking call it a day isn't logical. You're sick. But it takes a while for you to figure that out. But only you can figure that out. You can't hear it from someone else. I say it because everyone else says it. I don't know if I believe it. But the reason I don't know if I believe it is because I wouldn't have done it. Reach out and say something. It's fucking hard. You know, you've got to have mates that you can reach out to. Or try it. I wouldn't have. Like I said, I ain't a fucking psychologist, so this is not medical advice in the slightest. But my own experience is when you're in the fucking depths of it, the last thing you want to fucking do is tell someone that you're in the depths of it. But I guess that you have to. Because I don't know if you can do it on your own. I'm just giving you my own experience there with that. Hay fever's absolutely done me in. Yeah, you have to figure it out and get through it. And it ain't easy. And logic don't make sense. You can't tell someone that's broken and sick, have you tried not being sick? Like, it's the same thing. It's like someone's got fucking cancer. You're like, have you tried not having cancer? Oh, didn't think of that. Nice one. There's something fucking wrong. And fortunately, unlike, a fucking crippling cunt of a disease like cancer, you can't just talk your way out of having cancer, but you can talk your way out of what's going on in your head. Not immediately. You're not just going to have one conversation, a cup of tea and a fucking digestive and be sound. It don't work like that. But again, it's momentum, innit? It's changing the fucking direction slowly, turning it around and putting it into play. So, like I said, even though it didn't work for me, I'll repeat it because it's what everyone says. It's what the professionals say. So I'll just have to go with them because they know more than I do, I guess. But share your shit in the comments. Be anonymous if you want. Some of you aren't anonymous, some of you are anonymous. Share your wins. Share your struggles. Share what's going on in your mind. Your financial worries. You go fucking bananas at Christmas and gonna leave yourself short. Like, they're real pressures, man, as we come into this time of year. Put it all in there. Because, you know, this is what we're all for, innit? It's all for each other. And yes, no United news today. Me and Ronnie will cover that a little bit later on, if that's your jam. But today I just wanted to have a bit of a chat, because it is the time of year where people start doing things we all wish they wouldn't. And depression gets you like a fucking headlock. So stay vigilant in that, innit? And just keep showing up. Stack the wins. Man of stack today. Started off on a good foot. We're building some momentum. Supplements took. Up early. Got my movement in. Got my steps in. And do you know what? Bought a new car yesterday. There'll be an IRL video about that. But the long and short of it is, I got a very, 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 very spicy quote for the works that I wanted to get done on the Defender. And I was looking at it, and Vitesse, I think they're phone call guys rather than email guys, and I'm an email guy. And it was taking a bit long to get back to my email, like 2 weeks. And in that time, I got itchy feet, man. You know, I've been saving up the money to get this done for fucking over a year. So I'm ready to spend it. Let's fucking spend it, Bon. What are we waiting for? So I'm trying to get that done. And they weren't getting back to me quick enough. So I was like, right. Let me just have a quick look around what's going on. I had a look. And the amount of repairs that I was getting done, simply for the fact that it was an older Defender, I was like, I might be able to buy one of the more recent editions and get half of this work done just by buying a new Defender, and I will have a newer Defender. So that's what I did. Stay tuned for the IRL video on that. I've got to get that delivered now to the garage and get the work started on it, but hopefully, all being well, 4 or 5 weeks, I'll be in it. I'll do you a tour. How's that sound? Right, that was a long one this morning. This is probably not going to get out before dinner with how long it takes to upload, but either way, have a good day. Me and Ronnie will be back later on, about 4 o'clock for XG. See you in a bit.